In this video, I'm going to go through a slightly more complex automation. This was triggered by a client who, as well as a few other automations in their workflow, they happened to throw in an almost off-the-cuff comment that said it really would be nirvana in terms of being able to automatically create a contract. And I kind of picked up on this and went, well, can you go into a bit more detail? And so I'm going to go through a process now, which is very similar to what the client asked for. And this is whereby we use Airtable and ticking a box within Airtable to produce a contract with a set of variables in there, and then turn that contract into a PDF and send it to the recipient. So quite a lot of moves in here, quite a lot of data handling, but I'm going to take you through the process. So this is the process itself. And we can see that the start of the workflow here. So we are going to use Airtable as our trigger, but it could just as easily be any other application that would form a trigger. For us, this is going to be ticking a checkbox. This information is then passed via Zapier. We send some of the data from Airtable into a Google Doc. And within the Google Doc, we're going to use some variables, and we will put the data from Airtable into those variables. Then we will follow on from that Zap by then turning that Google Doc into a PDF, creating an email, attaching the PDF to the email with the use of an email template, and then sending the email itself. So a few stages in here. This is primarily driven by Zapier, but we could also do this in Make. And there are many options in terms of, the documents that we could use. We could use other document management systems. It's just an example. The steps are pretty much the same throughout. So here we are in Airtable, and here is the data that we're looking to send. This is just an example template. So we have some names here: first name, last name, an address, a rate, so that would be the hourly rate for the contract, the start date of the contract, this is the tick box, and then this is the email which it will be sent to. And when I said it is just ticking a checkbox, this is the checkbox that we will tick. So now let's take a look at the Google Doc itself. So again, this is just an example. You could change the text in here, but what's important are these variables in the double brackets. So in here, we're going to insert the address, in here the first name, and start date, and so on and so forth. Again, this is just an example, something very similar to what the client asked me to produce. So just going back again, here's our Airtable, here is our contract template. Then the final thing is Zapier itself, and I will go through the details. So what happens here? So let's tick that checkbox. So we're going to automatically create the contract. The trigger for me in this particular is the record appearing in this view for the first time, and here we can see the details have been passed and the create contract has been checked. The previous one is just an example I used to test this. And so what happens here? Let's take a look at Zapier. Inside Zapier, the trigger that we have here is a new record in a specific view. So it's a limit to view, and we saw that create contract view. In here we had to add a formatter because the date and time came out in an unusual format. we tend to use European format for this, so I added a formatting step. And then we pass that data into the document template. So you can see here is our template document, contract template demo, and then we add in here all of the various, the address, first name, and so on. The client then asked me, you know, maybe I can, what happens if I need to go back and update the record itself? So I created a link that found the record and then updated the record to provide here's the ID. This was the link back to that Google Doc in case they ever wanted to edit and resend it in future so that they could find it. And then the final step is essentially to send the email, and it says it's from me, here's the subject, here's the name, here's the text, and here's the attachment that goes with it. So if we go back to our process again, we've seen the Airtable record, there's the Zap using the template, the Zap continues to create that link, but also create the email and send the email with this attached PDF. So if we look at our email, you can see that this contract has arrived. It has the sample text. Andrew was the name of the data that we had it, and here is the PDF document with the address, the name, the start date, the salary level, and so on and so forth. So there we are. There is the email sent with the attached PDF. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It does wonders for the channel. And if this is something that maybe you want in your organization or something similar, then please drop me a note or go to my website, cjwray.com, and we can set up a free call to talk about your business and perhaps some of the automations that you need. And if you found this video interesting, then I will give you some suggestions up here or somewhere to other videos that also talk about automations within small business. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video.